Imagine this. You are a brave explorer equipped with a time machine. You press a button, and the world around you dissolves in a whirlwind of light. When the mist clears, you find yourself standing on the edge of an ancient forest. The air is thick and humid, saturated with the smell of wet earth and blooming plants. The sun hangs high, yet the sky feels closer, because the atmosphere is denser, rich in carbon dioxide, making the world warmer than today's tropics. There is no snow, no ice at the poles. Forests stretch from the equator to the very edges of the earth. Welcome to the Cretaceous Period, about 100 million years ago, an age when the planet was a living, pulsating heart filled with mysteries and dangers. The Earth looked very different back then. The supercontinent Pangaea had already broken apart, but the continents were not yet in their modern positions. North America was just beginning to separate from Eurasia, forming narrow seaways that would eventually become the Atlantic Ocean. South America was drifting away from Africa, while India sailed alone across the Tethys Ocean like a massive island. Australia was still pressed against Antarctica, and the entire southern world consisted of the remnants of Gondwana. Sea levels were higher than today. Vast areas were flooded, creating shallow inland seas where the water was as warm as a bath. In North America, for example, the western interior seaway split the continent in two, turning it into an archipelago of islands and swamps. The climate was warm and humid, with frequent rains and storms, but without polar winters. The forests were a mix of the familiar and the alien. Coniferous trees, ferns, and cycads dominated, yet flowering plants were on the verge of blossoming and changing everything. You walk deeper into the forest. Beneath your feet, a thick layer of leaves and branches crunches softly. The plants here are true giants. Tall conifers such as Araucarias stretch toward the sky, rising 30 to 40 meters high, their crowns forming a green canopy pierced by shafts of sunlight. Tree-sized ferns surround you, their fronds rustling in the light breeze. But something else catches your eye. Among them appear the first flowers. Angiosperms, flowering plants, had only recently emerged, around 125 million years ago, and now they are spreading like wildfire. The ancestors of magnolias, oaks, and willows bloom with vivid buds, attracting insects. These flowers lure pollinators, beetles, bees, and moths, which are only beginning their rise. Imagine a bee, an ancestor of modern ones, buzzing around one of the first flowers, unaware that this marks the beginning of a symbiosis that will reshape the planet. But be careful. These forests teem with life, and not all of it is friendly. Suddenly, the ground trembles. You hide behind the trunk of a massive tree. From the undergrowth emerges a herd of herbivorous dinosaurs. They are iguanodonts, or their close relatives, massive creatures up to 10 meters long, with powerful hind legs and a thumb spike for defense. They graze on young shoots, their jaws grinding leaves with a crunch, like gigantic lawn mowers. Nearby, small ornithomimids scurry about, digging in the soil for roots and insects. But the calm is deceptive. A predator lurks in the bushes, Carcharodontosaurus, one of the largest carnivores of its time, with knife-like teeth and a length of up to 12 meters. It waits for the perfect moment. Your heart pounds, then it strikes. The herd scatters in panic. The ground thunders beneath their feet. Carcharodontosaurus seizes a young iguanodon, and the forest fills with roars and screams. This is a world where survival is a daily battle. Africa at this time is a scorching continent of savannas and rivers. Here rules Spinosaurus, a strange dinosaur with a sail on its back, used to regulate body temperature or intimidate rivals. It is not a purely land-based predator. It hunts near water, catching fish with its crocodile-like jaws. Imagine standing on the bank of a river, the water warm and murky. Spinosaurus steps into the shallows, its sail slicing the air like a banner. Around it dart small mammals, tiny, mouse-sized creatures hiding in burrows, feeding on eggs and insects. Mammals do not yet dominate. They wait for their moment while dinosaurs reign. But they are clever. Some climb trees, others dig tunnels. And in the swamps lurk crocodilians, ancestors of modern crocodiles, but larger and far more aggressive. Now lift your gaze to the sky. It is alive. Pterosaurs, flying reptiles, soar on enormous wings. Not all of them are giants. Many are the size of crows, but others, like Quetzalcoatlus, have wingspans of up to 11 meters. They glide over forests, snatching insects or diving for fish. Alongside them are the first true birds. Archaeopteryx is already a relic of the past. Now it is the age of enantiornithines, more similar to modern birds, with feathers and beaks. They flit between branches, singing songs that echo through the forest. But the sky is no safe haven. Suddenly, a shadow, a massive pterosaur dives down, snatching a small bird. The struggle for the air is as brutal as the struggle on land. Now imagine approaching the edge of a continent where land meets sea. The oceans are a world of their own, full of wonders and terrors. Sea levels are high, and shallow seas cover vast areas. The water is warm and bursting with life. Ammonites, spiral-shelled mollusks, drift in schools, their shells gleaming in sunbeams filtering through the water. Rudists, giant bivalves, build reefs like modern corals, creating underwater cities. But the true kings of the seas are reptiles. Long-necked plesiosaurs glide gracefully, hunting fish and squid. Ichthyosaurs, resembling dolphins but armed with shark-like teeth, race through the water in packs, chasing schools of fish. And toward the end of the period appear mosasaurs, enormous marine lizards up to 17 meters long, with jaws packed full of teeth. They sit at the top of the food chain, even attacking other reptiles. Here is a dramatic scene. You dive into the Tethys Ocean. Around you are forests of algae and sponges. Schools of fish flash like silver. Suddenly, a shadow, a mosasaur approaches, its eyes burning with hunger. It chases a plesiosaur that twists and turns, trying to escape. The water churns with the struggle, jaws snap shut, and blood stains the sea. This is a world where even the depths are locked in endless war. Microscopic life thrives as well. Plankton and diatoms form the base of the food chain, depositing layers of chalk that will give the period its name. But wait, the tension builds. As you explore this paradise of giants, you sense that something is coming. The atmosphere is warm, yet volcanoes rumble, releasing gases. Continents drift, oceans change their currents. This is the peak of diversity. Dinosaurs, reptiles, and plants all flourish. But somewhere in space, an asteroid is already on its way, one that will, in 34 million years, bring an end to this world. You do not know this, yet a feeling of foreboding hangs in the air. A distant herd of tyrannosaurids roars, birds sing, the sea whispers. It is a fragile balance, about to shatter. You return to the time machine, your heart pounding from what you have witnessed. The Cretaceous Period is not just an era, it is a symphony of life, where every leaf, every roar, every splash tells a story. The Earth was hotter, stranger, more dangerous. and all of it is part of our planet's past, hidden within the layers of time.